When I buy vintage toys, I travel all around the globe, and today I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, hunting for vintage Star Wars playsets. And I have always wondered, what goes into selling toys at a show? Well, today we go behind the scenes to find that out, so let's go. Welcome back to the channel. There are a few reasons why I like to collect vintage toys. It brings back a nostalgic sense for me from when I was a kid. It brings back good memories, and when I'm in my collecting room, there's a feeling I get. It's like a blanket of happiness. That, honestly, was not weird to say. With vintage toys, there is a history, especially in the Star Wars toys that I consider to be the grandfather of how all modern toy lines copied, at least in the marketing and how toys went mainstream. And finally, it's the hunt. You can't just walk into a Walmart, Target, or Costco and look for these on the shelf. You can go to secondhand shops and vintage toy shops, but it's up in the air to what they have and in what condition and at what price. That's where vintage toys have that appeal to me. You have to be on your game and know the history as well as the current market trends of each item in a collection run. And all of that is what makes collecting vintage, especially vintage Star Wars, a fun hobby. And today, I am in Nashville, Tennessee, where I was invited to host some panels, interview some celebrities, including Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings star John Rhys-Davies, as well as Star Wars Return of the Jedi actress Fenny Taylor, who played Oola. But I also got to go on some amazing toy hunts while I was here. And at the ICCC, there is a ton of Star Wars vintage toys. So if you're new to the channel and want to know exactly what I do, I go on collection runs where I complete full vintage Star Wars toy runs. In my first run, I completed the Kenner Star Wars loose action figures made from 1977 to 1985. And now, on my new run, I'm trying to complete the entire set of Star Wars playsets made by Kenner from the years of 1977 to 1985. And today, I'm hunting for the Jabba the Hutt Dungeon Action playset made in 1983. The Jabba the Hutt Dungeon was a Sears exclusive, only available during the Christmas seasons of 1983 and 1984. And this toy has a rich history in the Star Wars Kenner line, going all the way back to 1979, when this same toy first made its debut as the Droid Factory. The Droid Factory was an amazing toy by Kenner, allowing kids the opportunity to build their own droids by using the blueprints that came in the box, or by using their imagination and building their own. This also came with an R2-D2 that you can build that had a third leg. Fast forward to 1983, to the Jabba the Hutt Dungeon Action playset, and you can see the striking similarities in the sets. In the 1983 update, there are no droid parts, and the plastic base, although having the same basic shape, does not have the molded features that can house the parts. Instead, it's more of an open staging area for the 3 action figures that come with this playset. They are the Return of the Jedi action figures of Nikto, 88, and Claytu in Skiff Guard outfit. When Kenner had surpluses of action figures that weren't selling as well as the more popular figures such as Luke, Han, and Vader, they often bundled these into store exclusives for stores such as Sears, so parents could get value by getting a playset as well as action figures for a low cost. This was done with multiple other playsets as well. Another big difference in the Jabba the Hutt Dungeon from the Droid Factory is the color of the base mold and the hook. Not only is it a different colored plastic, instead of just one hook, the Jabba the Hutt Dungeon also comes with a branding iron that we see 88 use on a Gonk droid in Return of the Jedi. The Jabba the Hutt Dungeon would be used again and with the same name in the 1984 update, but this time 3 new figures from the yet-to-be-released Power of the Force line would be introduced in this Sears exclusive for the Christmas season of 1984. These action figures were a Man-A-Man, Barada, and EV-99, although in the Sears catalog, they have Barada listed as Barbado. In the 1984 version, the base is now a different color, but the same mold. In 1983, the Jabba the Hutt Dungeon sold for $13.99, and right now on eBay, they are selling for average prices of $230 for complete versions in unsealed boxes, and graded examples at $80 are selling for prices of $1,500. There was a seller at the ICCC who I've bought from before a number of times and trust that his items are authentic and in great condition that match a fair price as well. I went directly to his booth first. His name is Ryan, but most of the time that I have seen this playset in the wild, it has been massively overpriced, like this one I found in Los Angeles. The box was damaged, there was no paperwork inside, and no figures, and it was selling for a massive $500. But the item that Ryan had was in amazing condition, in a great-looking box, complete with paperwork, and the figures inside were steel sealed in their Kenner baggies, just as they would have come in 1983. I searched on eBay and could not find a version in that same condition. Nor would I feel comfortable buying items like that on eBay because sellers often don't know what they have. And sometimes I've seen items listed as sealed-in baggies only to find that the tape is loose or there are rips in the baggie. If that's the case, it can't be called sealed-in bag anymore. He was selling it for $325, and I was happy to pay that amount as Ryan is a great dude, a great collector, and he shot drone footage for me for the convention space, so there was no way I was even gonna attempt to haggle a price from him. Ryan and his lovely fiancée travel all over the place, taking their amazing items to toy expos, and I wanted to know, what does it take to sell items at a show like this?
So coming to these toy shows, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of time that goes into the prep. And what that entails are things like making sure that the figures that I'm offering to my customers are top notch. So I want to make sure my clients or my customers are getting the absolute best quality. That takes hours upon hours of digging through bins, finding the correct accessories, pairing them up together, and just making sure that it's that top notch piece that when someone buys it from us, it's the new amazing addition to their collection that they'll never have to upgrade because it's the best of the best. I have different avenues of figuring out pricing. What I do is I go on Facebook, I go on the different groups, I research figures themselves to see what the average price selling is, and I look at the condition of those figures. I go on eBay, I look at sold pricing. I also use an app called Star Wars Tracker. Thursday was set up. We got here at 1 p.m. We had about a 75-yard walk from our car to inside the venue into our spot. I'm driving 5 hours to each show, and on the way there, I'm literally thinking how I'm going to set that booth up when I get there. And then you have square footage. You have to figure out what's going to fit where in your booth, where are our customers going to see it, so that it's not hidden. Placement is everything for a toy show. The big items go higher, so you want to put them out right there, easy to see. And then at the end of the show, we figure out what the next show is going to be. And then we pack boxes specifically from what we have at that show for the next show, mark those boxes so that those are ready for the next show. Other stuff that we think will do better at other shows, we put aside and pull those into storage. And now you know what it takes to do a toy show.
So thanks to Ryan for selling me this amazing 1983 Jabba the Hutt Dungeon playset. The base and hook are pristine. It comes with the instructions, sticker sheet, the catalog, and the figures that are in pristine baggies, as well as a great looking box. So let's cross off this playset that we bought at the ICCC Toy Con for $325. And you can get this collection sheet at my website right now at thepadawancollector.com. If you found this video interesting, please give it a like. That does support the channel. And if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. To support me on a higher level and make these videos possible, please join my community over on Patreon and get some amazing perks. And if you want to keep the support right here on YouTube, please hit the join button and join the Academy for some amazing perks as well. I thank all my community members. You make these videos possible. And as always, my friends, thank you, and I will see you next time. I think I only have like 3 more playsets to go, and they're 3 playsets that are hard to find. All right, I'll see you guys next week.
If you're new to the channel, check out the welcome video, or just check out the next episode. And please subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And remember, there is no shame in being a Padawan.